I can't be the only one who's here like, that's not a poem. But then, plot twist, Gabbie starts talking to me and she started insulting me. Insulting me! Hey guys! Today I'm gonna be reacting to Adultolescence by Gabbie Hanna. If you're new around here, listen up, because I've got a little secret to tell you. I'm not just any reactor. I am Starlet the Starlet, and I'm a writer. So I don't just react, I review. And the way I do it is simple. If I like something, I add a point, starting from last video's total. And if I don't, I take one off. Now, as y'all can see, I've got a couple friends here with me. This is Angel, and this is Seth. Okay, let's jump in. There's literally no point to this poem. Like, it's one thing to write poetry like this, but to fill a book with it, Gabbie has tried to use the most mundane thing as a metaphor and turn it into something inspirational. Gabbie says that her disability had become her superpower. That is the dopest thing. Alright, the first poem of this video is called Love Boat, and it comes with a drawing of water flooding some guy's boat and him trying to like get the water out of it. It says, next time you pour everything into someone, make sure they don't have any leak. I feel like there ain't much more I can add. The awfulness just speaks for itself. Like, would any of you guys call that a poem? I can't be the only one who's here like, that's not a poem. Next one's called Prankster. The first line says, God has a sick sense of humor. It's blasphemy. This book really does get worse and worse, doesn't it? This is about how God basically played us when he created us. I'm not about to get into the whole creationism versus evolution thing. For the purposes of this video, he made us. We here. So yeah, Gabbie's going on about how it's so funny that God created men and women to need each other to reproduce, yet made our brains disagree on everything. But then at the end, it's like, you got us so good. See, it's one thing to write a poem about this tired topic that everyone is sick of hearing about, but then to act like that's objectively funny is something else, man. Like, if you think your humor is something that everyone would like, you arrogant to a whole new level. Anyway, the next one's called Cravings. Wow, this poem is actually borderline disrespectful. Gabbie basically took a bunch of medical facts about cravings and discredits them. She completely undermines the seriousness of them. Like, the point of all of these medical facts is basically that sometimes if you have a certain craving for something, that might mean you're lacking something essential. Like, if you're craving cheese, that might be because you have a calcium deficiency. Or if it's red meat you're craving, you might have an iron deficiency. Gabbie takes all of them facts and undermines them by being like, or, you know, you might be craving red meat because hamburgers are delicious. Or you could be lacking magnesium if you eat loads and loads of chocolate. Or you might just be lacking self-control. Like, someone could easily be lacking one of these things and write off their craving as nothing unusual because of people like Gabbie. Like, I can honestly imagine one of these verses on top of like a Minion meme on Facebook, especially the chocolate one. And someone with a genuine deficiency could see that on Facebook and decide not to mention it to their doctor and end up in a far worse situation. Like, is that really what you want, Gabbie? Next poem's called Nap. Wow. The whole thing says, you woke a part of me I thought was dead, but I guess it was just sleeping. That's really it? It sounds like an unfinished sentence. Like, what's your point, Gabbie? If there ain't none, why say it? It honestly frustrates me knowing that Gabbie is gaining royalties off of poetry like this. Stuff that doesn't even have a point. Next one's called Early Bird. What the heck? It has a picture of some guy whose head's been cut off. His body is still walking, but his head is on the ground, except it has little legs that are running to catch up with the body. This is about how Gabbie's body misses some guy before her mind can catch up to remember what he's really like, I guess. Can't relate. This one's called Mother Goose. Wow. So this was a journey. I was gonna compliment it. I was gonna be like, at least this one's got a cute little rhyming scheme. But then I realized it's not a rhyming scheme. It's a cop-out. It's a nursery rhyme that's been around for centuries. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. You know that one? Except Gabbie changes it in the next line. It says 3, 4, better lock your door. But then, plot twist, Gabbie starts talking to me. And she started insulting me. Insulting me when I've been decent enough to buy her book, read every single one of her poems so far, and give my honest opinions, you know, given that I'm a writer as well, only for her to throw it back in my face and be like, why the heck are you taking demands from a nursery rhyme? Grow a backbone. If you can't even stand up to a poem written for preschoolers, you stand no chance in the real world. Start thinking for yourself. Damn. Are you sure you want to play me like that, Gabbie? You do not want this smoke, Gabbie. Honestly, she's gone and ruined my whole energy for this video. Anyway, next poem's called Love, and it has an elephant standing on its tiptoes. Another poem that feels like an unfinished sentence. Gabbie says that she saw some old guy in a store buying sanitary pads for someone, and she looked at him and was like, goals, man. She was like, that's the kind of love I be needing. But how are you gonna be asking for that kind of love if you treating people like how you treated me? Anyway, can we talk about that man though? Like, good on him for buying whoever them pads. There are too many guys who refuse to touch them, let alone buy their girl some. Boys like that have a lot of growing up to do. Next poem is called Web, and for once it looks like an actual poem, and it's about YouTube. Wow. I seem to be saying that about every poem. I think I like this one, even though it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth at the start. For once we have a poem that's about Gabbie herself and her life, you know, not about some unnamed guy or some toxic relationship. This is about Gabbie's experience as an influencer, I guess. You know, she was one of the biggest names on Vine once upon a time. Yo! I should write a poetry book. Oh no, am I beginning to understand her? I can't help thinking that is why so many of these poems exist. Anyway, she was pretty big on Vine, and since they all came to YouTube after it died, she's been doing her thing on here, had several ups and even more downs. And for once we get to hear what it's actually been like for her. Like in this, she basically talks about how it's tough to always try and stay relevant because patience does not exist on the internet. Gabbie says that she's not yet the person she's meant to become, and that she wants to do so many different things like sing and act and stuff. But at the same time, she has to stay relevant online. You know what's messed up? If I were to sit down and try to write a poem, it would turn out so bad. All I'm doing right now is trying to explain this poem to you guys. I'm not trying to make this rhyme. Maybe this book has rubbed off on me a little bit. If it has, I hope it's just this poem, because this is a decent one. So yeah, she struggles to stay relevant just because the internet gets bored so easily. And the reason I said this left a sour taste in my mouth at first is at the beginning it says, am I a good person? Check my analytics. Like, I just thought that was kind of arrogant. I mean, I get that with everything there are the downsides, but to millions of people, Gabbie's life and Gabbie's career is like the dream. A lot of the things she's complaining about are very, very first world problems. Does that make sense? And I'm not trying to come for Gabbie this time. She actually managed to make me feel for her. It is no secret by now, I'm not a Gabbie Hanna fan. But by the second half of this, I was beginning to understand, like, it must be difficult trying to stay relevant all the time. So that one is getting a point. Alright, next. Oh wow. I really am saying that about everything. But look at that. I think that's meant to be Gabbie in a spider's web. Alright, advice 8. What the heck? No, Gabbie. You were doing so well. Honestly. What the heck? I have no idea how to take this. Not even Gabbie wants to follow her own advice. She can't even go with one consistent message or one consistent point. She tries to say that everyone comes into your life for a reason, but then by the end of the poem, she goes back on her word. Like, it starts with, be grateful for everyone you meet because every ex and every bad friend was in your life for a reason. And if they weren't in your life for a reason, they were probably boring anyway, so good riddance. Gabbie, how is anyone meant to take you seriously? That just speaks for itself. If I'm honest though, Gabbie she's just kind of a hypocrite like that. She's done hypocritical things like that again and again and again, you know, and that's why I could never stand. I could never stand for Gabbie. Anyway, the last poem of this video is called Question, and it comes with a big old smiley face. All it is, it's 2 lines. First it says, are you happy or are you not sad? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give that like button a little kiss and subscribe to become a Starlet. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram and Twitter. And if you have read something that has just left you shook beyond repair, let me know in the comments. I'll see y'all later. Bye.